going to go to our main topic. And if you can't tell, we might be fanboys.
Might be.
Potentially. So we just took this trip.
Yep.
To Colorado.
Got on a plane.
Got on a plane.
And flew there.
Crazy idea.
Wild. My arms are tired.
I know. Arms are tired.
From flying there.
Okay. All right. So we went to Colorado. Well, there were a lot of things on the trip that we did.
A lot of things we done.
But if you can't tell, we did hit up Wildwood.
We had to hit Wildwood up.
So I've never been there. You've never been there.
Nope.
What were your takeaways from Wildwood?
Okay, so when we went to go to Wildwood, right now, since the whole 2020 pandemic, they've been appointment only since they reopened. Mm-hmm. They've been doing a lot of internet sales. I know that they've been making a lot of sales, and I see a lot of guitars flip-flopping.
Sorry to interrupt, but we should say we're not affiliated. We're just super fans.
No, well, now.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to think whenever we started to go there.
Spoiler alert, we're fans.
Yeah, we didn't know what to think when we were going there, to be honest. So, and also, I have bought a guitar from them online. Technically, my wife bought the guitar.
Oh, that's true.
But I have a Wildwood guitar. So we went over there, and since 2020, they're by appointment only, which we've had some experiences at some stores that have not been great, like appointment-only stores. So, not to name any names right now.
It's hard. It rhymes with...
and you know what? In this episode, we're not going to do that.
No.
Okay, let's talk about Wildwood. So, Wildwood is appointment only. So, we scheduled an appointment for one of the days we were going to be there. We were going to be there as soon as they opened up. We walked through the front door. And actually, before we even got to the front door, we pulled up, started getting out of the car. And a guy, I didn't catch his name, I'm not for sure exactly what his name was, opened up the front door to us and said, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And was immediately greeting us before we even walked through the door.
It was pretty cool.
So we walked through the door and he said, "Hey, here's Steve. Steve's going to take care of you." And Steve actually turns out to be the owner of Wildwood Guitars. Mm-hmm. We greeted each other pretty nice. We walked in, and as soon as you walked in, what'd you see?
It was a bunch of cases in all its glory.
It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen as in a guitar store.
Right.
It might not be beautiful as in like aesthetics that like a designer would go in and decorate with pictures and things like that.
I mean, there's no guitars hanging on the wall. Like, if you're expecting Guitar Center, that's not your shop.
It is not a Guitar Center. It is not, a bunch of guitars laying in case or laying in stands or hanging on walls. There's no amps laying around anywhere. Literally, it's very nice looking racks, but it's like racks, and all the cases are sitting there, and you can just see custom shop case after custom shop case, and then standard case by standard case, and you can see Gibsons, you can see Fenders, and they're like ordered out beautifully. They're all like symmetrical. Mm-hmm. It's like our type of shop.
It is, and it's one of those things where you got to think, like, it's only so big.
Yeah.
And they've got so many guitars.
Yeah.
Like, it only makes sense that it's appointment only because guess what? There's not a whole lot of space to work with.
No, they could have that whole place like just packed full of stands, and they would never get half the guitars open.
No. Maybe a quarter.
Maybe it would be hard.
But it would be like literally right next to each other. Like no one would be able to walk through.
Yeah, and then it would not work out. You wouldn't be finding anything.
But moral of the story is it was awesome to go in there.
Yeah.
And then we finally got to actually play some of their guitars.
Yeah. So we walked into the side room. We let them know kind of what guitars, whenever we called them on the phone, we talked to them about what guitars we were kind of interested in checking out. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we walked in to this other side room, they had 3 amps set out for us to be able to check out. And they had all the guitars we were wanting to check out that day. Right. And they were set out on stands. Their cases were back there with them.
Ready to go for us.
Ready to go. There was a tuner. There was a cable. Everything was good to go. And Steve kind of hung out with us and chatted with us for a little bit and kind of gave us the lowdown on the store and, its situation, where they're at. And he was the most friendly, the coolest dude.
A genuinely, nice person.
Yeah.
I think that's what surprised me the most because, you get into a lot of shops that are like, this is what we got, take it or leave it. Or it's like, you don't seem like you're ready to buy everything today, so I'm not going to take the time to talk to you. Like, he took his time,
And was super knowledgeable.
Super knowledgeable. Wasn't afraid to like tell us exactly how things are going for them, or how maybe he has talked to some reps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just kind of, just in general was telling us the lowdown of Wildwood and how he appreciated us stopping in there. And I mean, we were thankful we were just there.
Yeah, we felt fortunate to be able to get into the shop and check out a few guitars, because it's one of those places you hear about that's just like a specialty shop.
I mean, Wildwood is like one of the best shops, I would say, in the U.S. for sure.
Absolutely.
Before
I went there, I would, if somebody was like, "What shop should I buy online that I know I can trust and buy from online?" And since I've had an experience with them in the past, I would absolutely, they would be one of the first 3 names I shot out of my mouth.
100%. I mean, I can't tell you how much like I appreciate Steven, like how he was so kind, and was just willing to say, we want this to be experience for people and enjoy it and enjoy music. Yeah. And that's all that's what instruments are for. Right. So, it's not like a situation where, they're going to wave you off. They want an appointment so they can make your experience as good as possible. It's not because they don't want you there. It's because limited space, and they want you to enjoy the guitars that you're interested in.
I think if he had the ability to have 500 people in there a day, he would. It's just those people would not have the experience, that he wants them to have.
Right.
And it's just not feasible.
Right.
It's just not feasible.
But, I mean, obviously we're fans of Wildwood now.
Yeah.
Talk about a shop that, like, I would trust calling on the phone. Hey, I see you got 3, versions of this guitar. What's your thoughts on, like, which one would you go with? Which one has a little bit of this and that? And I had no qualms about saying, no, I know that they're going to pick the right one.
No, I absolutely wouldn't worry about that. I think they're one of the first shops that took pictures of the actual guitars that they were selling.
First one to do YouTube videos.
First one to start doing weights on guitars and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying they were like the number 1 first guy ever to do that and sell them online, but they were definitely the first ones I heard of.
Yeah, at least top 5.
Yeah, they were so early in that type of stuff.
Yeah.
The experience was fantastic. Playing the guitars were all great. Multiple of them were Wildwood spec stuff. Mm-hmm. The Wildwood spec stuff is just amazing. Steve has had this experience of owning this guitar shop for so long that he's been able to see what players like, what they don't like, and filter those results out to these other companies, Fender and Gibson and all these guys. Be like, this is what all my customers are asking for. Is there any way you could make that for us? Your current production isn't meeting what my customers are needing, you know?
I think, too, like, going back to guitar shops just in general, like, they kind of put everybody else to shame.
They do.
Like, I don't mean that, like, pretentiously.
No, there's some in Nashville we've been to that are unbelievable.
Well, that's true.
I think about those, and I haven't been to Chicago Music Exchange yet. One day I'll make that. It's not that far of a trek for us. We've got to do that sometime. I hear that place is amazing, too. There's a few places like that. Killer Vintage in St. Louis.
Fantastic.
Great shop.
Yeah.
They'll pull anything off the wall. They have a 1961 SG or something on the wall. They'll hand it to you. No questions asked. Yeah, check this thing out. So
yeah, there's a lot of great shops, but Wildwood is definitely, I would say, top 5 shops.
Absolutely. And it's not about just like letting you play guitars and stuff like that. It's like the interaction and like that person is honestly trying to get you an instrument that makes you want to make music and be a part of your artistry.
They're not going to sell you something just to sell you it.
No, they don't care if you buy a guitar. He's just like, he's got such an online presence too. Like, he probably doesn't have to worry about people coming into the store anymore. That's not a big like sale mover for him. That doesn't really move the needle probably for him, right?
I don't know. It's hard telling.
I can't imagine. I imagine his online sales are so much higher, than his in-person sales at this time because the way, the experience
everything's moving online, so.
But the fact that he wants people in there, and you could tell when we were in there, like he just wanted to hang out with people and wanted to get them the instrument that was going to make them happy and make music for them. Right. So
I know you've bought a guitar from them. I definitely plan on buying a guitar from them.
After being there and having that one guitar I bought from him before online and being there, I will definitely buy something else from him.
Yeah.
I picked up, we haven't got to talk about it yet in any YouTube videos. I did pick up one of the Wildwood Mjolnir pedals that Mythos makes.
Right.
And we'll talk about that in a little future video and hit on that a little bit. I just had to walk away from the shop with a little something to remember it from. The guitars, none of the guitars really hit us specifically that day. But there was one that you were kind of itching on a little bit.
There's one I'm going to get in my arsenal one day.
And
I just couldn't make it work at the time.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that in the future too.
Yeah.
But the Wildwood experience.
Yeah. How many stars?
What's it out of?
5
Is it
stars.
5 stars? It's a 5-star. I don't think you can give anything less. Give it anything less. Whenever if you said what's the 5 best shops in America, it would be on the list.
Would you
probably 3?
Is 5 out of 5 stars like it can get no better?
Yeah, I don't think it gets better.
Okay.
I don't know how it would get better.
I want to have hope that there's just better in general because like I don't see how it will, but you can't like give something 10 out of 10 all the time.
Well, 4.8?
I'm going 4.9.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm fine with that, but I mean, I don't know how it gets better. But if we would walk in there and Joe Bonamassa was there.
Well.
Maybe Joe Bonamassa's behind the counter selling something.
Yeah. How far is Nerdville?
Well, he's got one in Nashville, and then he's got one in California, right? Or New York?
We don't know where we're at.
I don't know. Definitely, he's definitely got one in Nashville.
Anyways.
But anyway, if you get the chance to go to Wildwood, go out there.
You really should.
Call them on the phone, get an appointment scheduled, and get in there. That place is incredible. If you can't make it out there, get on their website, check out some guitars. If there's something you got questions about or anything, give them a call.
I was about to say, honestly, ask them about specs and everything because he's super knowledgeable.
I know that, and we talked about it there, you can call them on the phone and be like, hey, there's 5 of the same guitar that I'm really interested in. Play them all, and then call me back and tell me what you think.
Right.
You know, so this is not a sales pitch for them. We have no affiliation with them whatsoever.
We might look like
we might look like it, but it's honestly such a great experience that we couldn't just keep it to ourselves. We had to let you guys know and promote a company that's doing a great job
and are genuinely nice people that care about making guitars a great experience for everybody.
It's the right reasons.
Right.
Those guys, it's incredible. I could talk about it forever.
Yep.